everyone, welcome back to Easy Cooking with Linda B. Today, Bob and I are in the mood for spinach. So I want to do something different with it. I'm going to make a cheesy spinach tomato casserole. And I'll show you how I put it all together. Okay, so right now I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Now I'm going to mix everything together. So what I have here is farm fresh baby spinach that has been washed, and we took all the long stems off of it. I'm going to take it and dump it in this large bowl here. Of course, we all know what happens to spinach when it cooks. Let me get all of that out. It's just going to melt right down. So it looks like a lot, but it isn't. Okay, so now I have a half of a dahlia onion that I had cut up into small chunks, and I'm going to add that to my spinach. And I'm going to add tomatoes here. What I have is about I would say a whole tomato and a half. And I just cut them into, wedges like that. So I'm going to sprinkle that into here also. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is fresh basil. A lovely neighbor of mine gave me a basil plant. So it is growing like leaps and bounds. It's at home right now. So I'm going to add, I would say this is about a half a cup of basil. I didn't chop or anything, I'm leaving it whole. So I'm going to put that in here too. Okay, now what I want to do is add seasoning. So I've got my typical salt and pepper, which I always add to everything. Okay, great. And now I'm going to add onion powder and garlic powder. This is garlic powder. As you notice, I don't typically measure my seasoning. I just go by eye. But if I'm going to put a measure down, I would say it's probably about a quarter of a teaspoon that I'm using. I also am going to add some thyme. And a little bit of Italian seasoning. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some oil. I want enough oil to evenly coat everything in here. Do a nice drizzle along the top. And then I'm going to stir this up. Okay, so I have the spinach nicely coated with the oil. And the next thing I want to do is add some gluten-free seasoned breadcrumbs. Typically, I don't use gluten-free, but this is really good. The reason why I have it on hand is one of Laura's family members is gluten intolerant. She cannot handle gluten, any product with gluten in it, no wheat. So when I was cooking for the weekend, I had gotten the gluten-free so that she can also enjoy the food along with us. I would say I probably added about a quarter of a cup. I'm going to give this a good stir, and I'm going to check it out and see if I need to add more. Right now I think it looks good. All right, and then the next thing that's very important is the cheese. I have several different cheeses here. I have a little bit of cheddar jack, which I'm going to add. And I also have 6 Italian cheese, which I will add to this too. You take a good handful, sprinkle that right in. And a good handful of this. I don't know if you guys have the same problem trying to open up these bags. It drives me crazy. And a good handful in there. And then I also found this at my grocery store. This is Asiago Romano Parmesan cheese salad blend. So what they did was they cut the cheese in slices. like this. I'll show you a piece like that. So you can put it on your salad. So I'm going to put a small handful of that in here too. I don't want anything to overpower. The only thing that I will do is I am going to add, this is horseradish cheese. It was a bar, so what I did was I cut it up. This will add awesome flavor to it. So I'm going to put this all in there too. And I believe that's it for our ingredients. So I'm going to now mix this up, and then I'll put it in my casserole dish. I'm going to grease my casserole dish. I don't have the oil spray with me, so I'm going the old-fashioned way, basically. I've got a brush. I'm going to smooth the oil all over the bottom and along the sides. I don't want anything to stick and burn, and that could happen. Okay, so that's pretty well coated now. All right, next step is we now add the spinach mixture. This is what it looks like all mixed up. Can't wait to try it. First time I'm making this. I like to kind of create things as I go. So I'm going to have to use my hands. I'll just wash them one more time. And then I'm going to use my hands to add it because I make such a mess and I don't want that to happen here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put this all in the casserole dish. I know right now it looks like a lot, but I know it's going to shrink right up. Okay, very good. There it all is. One little runaway, not bad. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little more breadcrumbs to the top of that. And I'm also going to drop some more cheese on the top too. So this breadcrumbs will help absorb any liquid that's rendered down from the tomatoes, so it's not all mushy. And then I'm going to add a little more of this cheese on top. Okay, so I'm going to cover this up, put it in my oven, and I'm going to check it in about 15 minutes and see how well it's done. And I'll get right back to you. Okay, great. This spinach casserole is now done. It looks beautiful. It's melted down, it's bubbly. Everything is completely cooked. I'm going to give this a stir. Oh, look at that. Cheesy. Looks gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to put a little in a bowl and I'm going to give it a try. I may have to wait a little before I can do that. Oh, look at that cheese. Oh, it's gorgeous. Just like that. Okay, very good. I'm going to let it cool and then I'll give it a taste. Okay, so time for the taste test. Get a little bit of onion in here too. That's good. That really is. The breadcrumbs absorb the moisture, so it's not soggy. The onions are still a little bit of crispy, which is how I like it too. And I think it's very good. And all in all, it did take me about 22 minutes for 350. But if you don't like the crispy onion in it, let it go a little bit longer until they become more tender for you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video and me making this beautiful cheesy spinach tomato casserole. As I said, I put this together for the first time, guessed at how long I had to cook, and it really did come out amazing. So I just want to let everyone know that I really appreciate all of you and you taking the time to watch my videos. And remember, enjoy life and never stop learning. Bye now.